Ransack the universe! Sounds like a very Rick Sanchez thing to say. That was a very horrible impression, by the way. But Ransack the universe actually happens to be the name of this beer from Collective Arts Brewing Company. And there's not a whole lot of info on here. It just says it's a Hemisphere IPA. 6.8% alcohol by volume, 1 pint ale, Collective Arts Brewing.com, brewed by Collective Arts, Stratford, Connecticut. And just the regular government warning. Not a lot of info on the label, but based on what I'm seeing here, and the fact that the artist is given credit, I thought, no, yes, the side of the label, yes, artist, Gabby Selby from Medellin, Colombia. But it's called Ransack the Universe. I have a feeling that this brewing company is some kind of collaboration, maybe a little artsy-fartsy between brewers and artists to get their can art. Hey, whatever. You know what I care about? How good's your beer? So let's check out this IPA from Collective Arts Brewing. In a can, not my favorite, but if it's properly lined, that won't interfere with the taste. IPAs, always near and dear to my heart. So I'm going to leave you with the can art versus the name, because Ransack the Universe, I think I've mentioned it enough times, you're not going to forget it. Oh yeah, plus it's in the description down below. It's pretty cloudy. Very flocculent. There's lots of very, very small flecks floating around in there. I'm thinking I probably should have rolled the can to suspend them better, but actually they seem pretty evenly suspended throughout the brew. It's got a nice golden yellow color to it. See, personally, I'm not a big fan of flecks and flocks in my beer. I'm starting to appreciate them because I've had a few beers recently where it seemed to be a very pleasant experience, despite the fact that there's floaties in it. I just can't get over the floaties. There's a certain ick factor for me. But as long as I don't taste it, I don't feel the texture in the beer, I'm usually okay with the taste. And it does seem to be some very flavorful IPAs actually have the flocks. So there's a couple of darker bits in there as well as the regular ones. Slightly effervescent. Did get a decent head on it, but there's not a lot of bubbles coming up after the fact. Looks like, honestly, it looks like a freshly fed batch of sea monkeys. If you poured it out in a good beer. Anyway, enough about that. I gotta stop talking about the particulates because they could be a good thing, even though visually they put me off. It's got a decent floral aroma. With like a peppery, a little bit of peppery notes in there. Floral, spicy, and peppery. Interesting. That's actually pretty cool. It's got a really peppery character to it. And I don't mean like a hot, spicy pepper. I mean like the spice pepper, black pepper. Very, very peppery. Some hints of floral and some earthy notes in there. Slight bit of pine. But mostly a very nice peppery flavor to it. It's very different. And as it settles on my tongue, it's almost like black pepper. Black pepper in the finish. It's different. I certainly haven't come across anything that peppery in terms of just basically pure black pepper. Like I said, there's some other notes in there. There's the floral notes, the earthy notes. But black pepper from start to finish. And subtle enough. I'm not a huge fan of black pepper, but it's just there in compliments to the beer itself. It's different. It's unique. With that pepperiness, for me though, it just makes it a one-trick pony. Otherwise, it's very similar to a lot of other IPAs I've had. But the fact that that pepperiness is so pronounced for me, different and unique, makes it a standout. So I'm not quite ready to bump this up to an epic rating, but I am willing to give it a 4 out of 5. Now, if you bear in mind, a 2.5 on a 1 to 5 scale is average. A 4 out of 5 is pretty damn good. It's just not over the top or wow, but it's different and unique enough. I've got to rate it higher than a regular above average beer. Which puts it at a nice solid 4. So that's just what I think about Ransack the Universe. I mean, come on, that name alone means you've got to try it, right? Ransack the fucking universe, man. Just do it. But that's just what I think. Make sure to hit me up down in the comments and the email link down below. Let me know if you agree about the beer, disagree about the beer. Either way, I'd love to discuss it with you. While you're down there, make sure to click on like and share. Sharing the video and liking it gets a little more attention for me on YouTube, which I love. That's the only reason I do it in the first place, right? And then if you subscribe, you'll get a notification every time I post a new video. So make sure and subscribe, folks. We're closing in on 200 subscribers, so hopefully soon we'll hit that. Till next time, thanks for tuning in. Cheers. Ooh, had to get that out of the system. Burp. It's even peppery in the burps. So, cheers.